Welcome to day 537 of our Web3 journey. I'm Ed Krasenstein here with my twin brother, Brian. And remember, these videos are being sponsored by DeSo5. They're the Web3 social media platform on the DeSo blockchain. So we have so much to talk about today, Brian. I'm really excited. Today's an exciting day, especially for DeSo. But before we get into the DeSo roadmap and everything that was just announced about DeSo yesterday, what's going on with the Ethereum merge?
So the Ethereum merge is only hours away. It looks like it's going to happen very soon. Uh, it's going to be big. And I think there's a lot of confusion among people who aren't like really tied to crypto about what the merge actually is. So I just thought I'd give a brief explanation of what the Ethereum merge will actually do and do it in as simple terms as possible. So the Ethereum merge is going to join the proof of stake beacon chain. The beacon chain's built on the Ethereum blockchain. It's going to join that with the Ethereum mainnet. And that's going to transform Ethereum into a proof of stake system rather than a proof of work system. And of course, proof of work is when you earn rewards as a miner for basically owning hardware and performing calculations, whereas proof of stake is that you earn rewards for running a node and having a stake in the currency. So this is big. It's going to save energy. It's going to reduce inflation of Ethereum. Some people even argue that it could become a deflationary crypto. It will allow for scaling, which is certainly important as crypto kind of spreads around the world at an ever faster pace. And it's going to reduce fees, which if you're involved with NFTs, if you're involved in a lot of transactions on Ethereum, you know that this is a major concern. So those are the positives. Now, instead of requiring a hardware processing unit or like a mining rig like Bitcoin does, Ethereum will now require holders of the coin to stake it as collateral to become a network validator. And these network validators will randomly receive rewards. And it's a random system. You're chosen as a validator. No more mining. So no more mining is necessary. It's going to save 99% of the energy usage, which is huge. It's definitely something that those preaching green technology and a cleaner environment are going to love. Currently, there are about 13,000 Ether mined per day in the proof of work system. But after the merge, which should happen by tomorrow, the number will drop to only 1,600 Ether. So this is a reduction of around 85%. So that's why people are saying it's going to make Ethereum a lot less inflationary. I love this. I think that it adds incentive to own and stake Ethereum. You're going to need 32 ETH to stake, and you should be able to earn between 6 and 10% or so on average for staking. 32 Ethereum is a lot of money. It's about $50,000, a little bit more maybe. So it's not nothing to like shake your head over, but 32 ETH. There will be mining pools, I'm sure. So don't go crazy and thinking, oh, I'm never going to be a stake. But it's exciting. It's definitely a crucial point for all the crypto space.
It wouldn't be a mining pool anymore, though, would it?
Staking pool, excuse me.
Yeah, it's exciting. And I think there's some uncertainty about what's going to happen with the crypto markets because of this. Do we see a spike in the crypto markets? Is it already priced in? Do we see it potentially fall? I don't know, but it's definitely something exciting to look forward to, I think.
Yeah, so Nader gave a big update on the DeSo blockchain, put out a roadmap, really exciting. I'm really excited. I hope they can pull this off. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, so yesterday was a big day. He released the roadmap. It's the draft version of the roadmap. It's not released to the public. I guess you could technically say it's released to the public since it's on the blockchain, but it's not released to the media. It's just been released for the DeSo community to see. Nader made a post and he said, quote, a roadmap that we think will take DeSo from being seen as a single chain ecosystem to being seen as a cross-chain social layer for all of Web3. And this is the main part of this, of course, is the MetaMask integration that's taking place next week. Over the next few weeks, DeSo is going to be dropping a series of what Natter called rapid fire industry defining launches. And if you view the roadmap, which you can view in its entirety if you just click the link above this video on DeSo or below it on YouTube, it's broken down into quarters, but it's also broken down into phases. And it's important to note that there's different phases. But phase one, which we're going to get to in a minute, is going to take place over the next few weeks. So within a month, we should probably see all of phase one complete, all of phase one released, which is super exciting because there's so much to unravel in phase one. Additionally, within the roadmap are going to be links. If you view it, you're going to get links to these other documents, and the other documents elaborate on some of these features that are coming in phase one. And in particular, those features are long form content on DeSo, the decentralized web, aka DeSo vaults, which we're going to get to in a minute, and also associations, which we talked about in the past, but they're actually even more all-encompassing than we have discussed previously. Natter also said, everyone here has stuck, talking about the community, everyone here has stuck with this community through all of the ups and downs. Every experience has taught us more and more about what it's going to take to achieve our mission of decentralizing social media. And we're getting closer and closer every day to achieving it. Importantly, this roadmap is just a draft, and we will be launching a much higher quality, nicely designed evergreen version next week ahead of the Missouri Mainnet conference. That's a conference that Natter is going to be speaking at next week, I believe the 21st or the 23rd. The event runs from the 21st to the 23rd. And on Monday or Tuesday next week, Natter is going to be on this very show. We're super excited. I think it's going to be the first time we have Natter on our show, right?
It would be, but it's not the first Al Naji that we had in the show.
That's
because
a good point.
Nassim beat him to the punch.
Yes, happy penguin. So let's get into the roadmap, shall we, Brian?
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to catch you open the roadmap as we go through this because there's a lot to unravel here. But let's start with phase one. Phase one's going to start in 5 days from now. So in 5 days, phase one's going to start. It's going to take place over the course of a few weeks. So probably by the beginning to middle of October, we should see all of phase one rolled out. And I want to focus on some really interesting things here. Of course, MetaMask integration is going to launch, and that should be launching next week if all goes as planned. It's going to mark the transition of DeSo from being a single chain ecosystem to becoming a cross-chain social layer for all blockchains. And this includes Ethereum, this includes Polygon, this includes many other blockchains. The launch is going to enable integrations with Ethereum-focused platforms such as Rarible, OpenSea, Foundation. And of course, these platforms have millions of MetaMask users, and those users are now going to have access to the social layer called DeSo, right? The DeSo blockchain is going to act as a social layer for DMs, group chats, and many other things. MetaMask is huge. I think MetaMask is the huge key to making basically all of this happen. Additionally, in phase one is the DeSo dollar. This is something we haven't learned about or talked about before, at least not the name DeSo dollar. They're going to be launching this as a breakthrough stablecoin that's going to enable, as they say, it's going to enable low fee US dollar transactions on DeSo. And DeSo dollar is going to be fully backed and fully exchangeable and interoperable with USDC. So what do you make of that?
This is interesting. This is interesting. Obviously, there's a lot of hesitation about stable coins after what happened with Terra and Luna, of course. But I think that it being exchangeable with USDC, interoperable with USDC, it's going to add a layer of confidence to it, at least. Otherwise, I'd be like, maybe stable coins aren't the best route right now. But I do like this, and I think that what they have planned for it will work.
Yes, and Brian, why don't you do some more of this phase one? Because I want to touch on a few of the phase 2 points.
Yeah, first I just want to correct something you said. You said all these are going to happen within the next few weeks, but the last two that we're going to touch on, they're going to happen in quarter 4. So that would mean, well, I guess quarter 4 could be anytime between now and the end of the year. But they do say that their search for their COO will be closing sometime in October. But yeah, let's talk about MegaSwap. So MegaSwap, they've been working on the platform. They think that of it as kind of a Stripe for crypto. And we've seen MegaSwap in DAO. It's been being tested via DAO, but soon it's going to launch publicly, and the platform will allow for the cross-chain exchange of any cryptocurrency for any other via a simple API. It's going to make exchanging currencies for one another really simple. I don't know how the government's going to see this. I know there's KYC issues, but since it's currency for currency, I think it just might work. Of course, I think that a lot of people in crypto basically build now and ask for permission later. And
Yeah,
I think
so
that's
you
kind
have
of,
the in and out. You have the in of the money to get into crypto, and you have the out cashing your crypto out. So I think you KYC in the beginning, KYC at the end, and I think all these transactions that take place in between, I don't think you necessarily need KYC for it because you're just doing transactions and eventually you're going to cash out, right? So like when you buy an NFT, you're not KYCing for that, are you?
yeah, no, that's a good point. And they see it as a global money router between all blockchains. So, I mean, if this does work out, it's going to position DeSo and DAO and MegaSwapper in the center of pretty much all blockchain e-commerce. Now, that's a lot to live up to. So I think we'll have to take it a little bit slower than that. But if it does go as Natter has envisioned, then it definitely has a lot of potential.
Yeah, for sure. So what else
So
is there?
yeah, so also the USD Treasury is going to launch on DAO. I know we haven't really heard much from DAO lately. Things have been rather slow, but according to them, the number one request from top DAOs when they evaluated DAO is to be able to raise with a USD Treasury, raise in US dollars, which is now possible thanks to the DeSo dollar they're going to roll out and MegaSwap. I think this is definitely something that business-oriented DAOs would like because it makes things easier accounting wise. It makes things easier not having to swap out different coins and all of that. DAO's going to support the ability to accept funds in any cryptocurrency, and this is going to include Ethereum, Solana, Bitcoin, DeSo, and USDC. And you'll be able to auto convert that to the US dollar via the DeSo dollar. DAOs can also raise from communities across many different blockchains and can cash out their funds to USDC to achieve their goals. On-chain end-to-end encrypted group chats also coming in quarter 4. Of course, we have DeSo Messenger that's doing a lot in this area. DeSo is already the only blockchain in the world that can support on-chain, fully censorship-resistant end-to-end encrypted DMs. And they're looking to extend this functionality to group chats. And users will soon be able to create fully end-to-end encrypted censorship-resistant on-chain groups and add and remove other users from those groups. Similar to secure on-chain DMs, this will be an even more impressive first of its kind for DeSo.
I think we're gradually moving toward that Discord, the Web3 Discord.
Yeah, and I'm sure DeSo Messenger's going to play a big part in this. I know that they're working their butts off over there, so I'm hoping that they can take advantage of some of these new tools. And finally, I think the new COO. Now, like this is what I'm most excited about. I think this person has the potential to really drive things forward. There is a lot on this roadmap, and it's not going to be easy to accomplish all these things because it's hard to keep focused when you have maybe 12 or 13 different main sub projects that you're working on. So a COO is going to be required to basically be able to create these groups of employees. They're going to have to hire more people to head up these various projects and kind of take responsibility on these so that Natter and the COO can kind of just manage things. And the COO is going to have to be a manager, somebody that can manage other people, other heads of departments really well.
Yeah, so
Really
that's
has
all
me
phase
excited.
one. That's all you covered all of phase one there. So that's what we can expect in the next few weeks. That's a lot, Brian. I mean, I think I'm excited.
I am. I'm really excited. And I'm really excited to see what happens in October with the COO. They expect to have the search done by October. So does that mean the beginning of October, the end of October? I'm not too sure, but definitely
Well,
excited. So let's,
they said phase one's going to end. Phase one's a few weeks, so a few
yeah.
weeks
So I
takes you
guess
to
we'll
the first
see.
week in October. So
Yeah. So
let's
what's
get to
phase two?
phase two. So Q4 of 2024, phase two is going to take place in the final quarter of this year, 2022. I'm sorry, Q4 of 2022. And that's going to begin with what they call a listing blitz. Their new CEO is going to be in charge of creating this pipeline of exchanges and then trying to work with them to list DeSo. We are already listed on Coinbase. We're already listed on several others, but we do have other exchanges that we aren't yet listed on. And by we, I mean DeSo. I'm not part of DeSo, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I'm
Uh,
looking forward to other exchanges. Gemini, like I love Gemini for some reason. It's a one founded by the Winklevoss twins. If we can get it on Gemini, I'd be really happy because I use Gemini a lot. Binance, of course, too.
yeah, and so they said they're also going to increase focus on recruiting credible market makers, and that this should significantly increase global DeSo liquidity. So getting those market makers on board could be really good for increasing that liquidity and getting people to buy and sell DeSo more on these different exchanges.
Yeah.
So next, I want to move on to something they term long form content standard. So many of you on DeSo are aware of Zircles, who allows you to have this long form content posted on DeSo. But DeSo apparently is working on their own on-chain solution for long form content that would probably go a long way to making Zircles even better than it already is and allow other nodes to also incorporate this long form content. So they actually released a whole nother document outlining what this long form content is going to allow for. And when I say long form content, you probably thinking of Medium or Mirror, basically a blog, allowing for blogs. And according to this document that they've released to go alongside the roadmap, it's going to be available on node.deso.org, but also on other nodes if you wish, if the node operator wants to, such as diamonds, Zircles, NFTZ, any other node is going to be able to incorporate this long form content. And every user is going to get a new page. So for us, it'll be node.deso.org/Krassenstein/blog or diamondapp.com/u/Krassenstein/blog or whatever node. It's going to be the same content on all the nodes. So that would be our blog basically. And all the nodes are going to recognize this page and then show the long form content there. So when you make a post, you're going to be able to select blog or select, long form post. I don't know how it's going to be written, but you're going to be able to make this selection, and then your post is going to show up on your /blog URL, and it's going to show up on that URL for no matter what node it is. There's going to be a rich text WYSIWYG editor. So of course, you're going to be able to have rich text, so you can bold stuff, underline stuff, italicize it, make the font size smaller, larger, have titles, maybe even change the color of your font. So this is interesting. So that's something that's not available natively on regular DeSo posts, but it's going to be available in the long form post. Blog posts are going to be diamonded, interacted with, just like regular DeSo posts, likes, comments. You can follow the creator, the poster. So just like a regular DeSo post. And then all this data is going to be stored in the extra data field. We talked about this before, specifically with NFTs and other areas where you want additional data in addition to that normal small text that you have. So what are your thoughts on this long form?
I think it's great. I also think that hopefully Zirkles can kind of weave this into what they're working on, because they do have a really good product right now. I don't want them to feel like DeSo is kind of eating into what they've created, because really they are providing more tools for Zirkles to succeed. And hopefully Zirkles is able to succeed quickly because they are that first mover in the area. I love long form posts. I love the ability for everybody to have their own blog on chain. I think it's big.
Yeah, so moving on, private content end-to-end encrypted on chain. So this is interesting. Right now, DeSo offers everybody the public
One
square
Zelensky.
function,
One Zelensky. Sorry.
the public square functionality. Your posts are currently broadcasted public to everybody, but people want to be able to make posts on chain that only certain individuals can see, only followers, only subscribers. That's why Brian was sneezing or coughing one Dolinsky, because one Dolinsky, Chris, of course, is obsessed with subscriptions and wants on-chain subscriptions. So this should allow for that. And the functionality is going to enable new forms of monetization like subscriptions. So think Patreon, think OnlyFans. You're going to be able to do all that on chain with a native DeSo currency, with MetaMask integrated. It's just going to be a big Web3 party.
Yeah, I love this, and I think this could feed into something we get to later, and that's Creator Coins version 2.0, which we'll touch on, because it can add a fundamental reason for buying Creator Coins if you can profit share some of your subscription revenue.
Exactly. So moving on, associations. We've talked about associations a lot in the past. It's something Brian and I are both huge fans of, and we're excited to see it get here because you're going to have verification of users. That's the biggest thing. People want to be verified on DeSo, but only a few do get verified, and the terms of how you get verified are just not fair, and it's just very inconsistent. So associations can allow for that, but it's far more in depth than we have envisioned it and we have talked about in the past. So there's going to be two new transaction types. There's going to be user associations and there's going to be post associations. So user associations are going to connect users to users. So I want to verify that Brian is a real person. So I can, do a user association with him saying he's a real person, or maybe I'm his boss and I want to say he works at Walmart. I'm his boss at Walmart. I'm going to give him an association saying he's an employee of Walmart. And then there's going to be post associations. So associations can also be applied to posts. This is also going to help with on-chain subscriptions. Again, Chris, one Dolinsky, is going to love this. And it's going to allow for reactions, hearts, smileys, frowns, etc. are going to be able to be associations of posts. But more importantly, I think, and where I think it's going to really be useful, is that it's going to allow for flagging and reporting of posts. So let's say I'm browsing and I see some content that just shouldn't be on the internet, like something that's just not, like, it's terrible, maybe child pornography or something. Oh gosh, this shouldn't be here. I'm going to flag this as, child porn or something. So other nodes can then say, okay, I'm going to take all posts that are flagged for something and remove those. Maybe all posts flagged for a certain criteria by a certain individual and remove those. So make moderating of posts much easier, and while still allowing for like no censorship, because those posts still exist on the blockchain, but certain nodes are going to have the ability to use associations to remove those posts from their node. So do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah, I think it has great potential, and it has the potential to kind of fix the censorship issue, because if one node doesn't want to allow for the plug into what might be blocked based on these associations, they don't have to, but it allows other nodes to basically say, hey, I want to follow whatever's blocked based on these associations. So I think it has power. It can take the control. It can place, it doesn't have to place blame on the node. So like Twitter wouldn't be blamed for banning certain people, yeah, because other people could take that data still and bring it up if they want. So I love that. And this kind of brings us to the email my followers capabilities that they're going to
cover
roll
that,
out.
Brian.
Yeah, so associations will enable a very exciting feature, they say. And this is the ability to share one's email with another user in an encrypted way. Like for instance, when you follow somebody, you can share your email with them if you allow it, of course. This would be able to uh, this would mean that users would be able to share emails and use those emails in ways to contact people. And I think that this would be big, not only for user attention, because it's keeping people communicating off of the blockchain, but I think it can get some marketers to come on and brands. And
Yeah.
I think that could really help DeSo grow and expand.
Yeah, most definitely. And then finally in phase two, I want to touch on this final one. This is big. So Q4 of 2022, the decentralized web and DeSo vaults are coming to the DeSo blockchain. So what exactly is this? So this is an entirely new concept, something we have not heard of before. We have not even envisioned before. I'm sure some people have, especially Natter, but it's basically a decentralized Google Drive or Amazon Web Services, I guess you could say, all on the DeSo blockchain. But it's also a decentralized internet, a decentralized internet. So every user is going to be able to have their own decentralized vault. And if they want to create a website, they can have their own decentralized website simply by uploading HTML files and the associated files to their vault. So for example, our vault will be node.deso.org/u/Krassenstein/vault. But if we have a website, it would be /webpage/index.html or index.php. So we'll be able to basically run a website. Anyone on DeSo, anyone on a DeSo username can be able to create their website on DeSo, free of charge, likely, no hosting cost, and completely censorship resistant. I guess I shouldn't say completely, because I guess every node could eventually censor you, but it is censorship resistance insofar as censorship resistance as you
It's
can get.
decentralized, so no one individual or entity could censor you.
Yeah, so your site's going to load on that node, but it will also load on other nodes. So like it wouldn't just be that extension Krassenstein/Walsh/web page on node.deso.org, but it could also be on nftz.me or on diamondapp.com. So it will, if node.deso.org decides to remove your website, it will still be available on other nodes. And several different proposals for this type of storage has been put forth. They haven't selected one yet, but I think this has so much potential. I think this has so much potential to get a lot of people interested in DeSo just for the ability to have these decentralized vaults and decentralized websites.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot on their plates. They're working on a whole lot, and I think that it's overwhelming to me just thinking about it all. I just hope they have the personnel in place by then to really kind of take all this on. But let's move to phase three, because this is really a long show right now.
The
Let's
revolution, it's
quickly,
called.
yeah, this is the revolution, and this is going to start next quarter. So next month, it should begin to start at least and expand all the way to the first quarter of 2023. And the first one is DeSo.com will launch. They've been working on this. All new content will be on this page. In December, they're looking to launch this, and all of the content via new website on the domain DeSo.com, as well as a complete redesign of the hub. It's going to definitely be something that's going to be attractive to new users, explain DeSo to new users, and have a lot of quality content on it.
Yeah, I'm
And
excited. I'm
you
super
want to talk
excited.
about the integration with a major NFT platform? This has me probably the most excited.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been hoping for this. Hopefully, is DeSo going to integrate with OpenSea or Coinbase NFT? It seems like it's coming. DeSo's MetaMask integration, of course, is going to allow for it to act as that social layer for all Ethereum platforms and other platforms as well, not just Ethereum, uh, especially the major NFT platforms. And it's going to allow for decentralized commenting and messaging. So I think this is geared more to messaging, but we'll see if commenting comes as well. They said they're in talks with several of the major platforms to integrate DeSo's MetaMask messaging functionality into their core user experience. So imagine going to OpenSea, going to Rarible, and finding an NFT but you want to trade. You don't want to buy it. You want to trade them one of your NFTs for one of their NFTs. You could simply click on message, and through the DeSo blockchain, you could send them an encrypted message. So no longer do you find their Twitter account, try and message them on Twitter, hope they see it. You would message them directly through MetaMask Messenger using DeSo. And that message will also show up if that person uses Rarible or Foundation or another marketplace like NFTZ.me. So this is huge. And I think it's something the entire NFT space needs. So if this works out, I think that has so much potential to bring like every single NFT collector onto DeSo.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually have a plan and a deal in place with one of these platforms, or if it's still a work in progress, because there's a difference between still talking to them
Yeah.
and basically saying that this is on my roadmap. We're gonna definitely launch and integrate with a major platform. So that's gonna be
It
interesting.
does say integration with a major NFT
Yeah,
platform, like they have one that's, that there's a deal
lined
reach,
up.
but maybe we can ask Nader about that.
Yeah, so this brings us to cross-chain social integrations with other blockchains like Solana, Avalanche, Cosmos, Near, etc. And just like they're going to integrate with MetaMask and allow for this cross-chain messaging, cross-chain connection and interoperability with Ethereum, they're going to do the same by extending the same basic philosophy they did with MetaMask to Solana, to Avalanche, to Near, to Cosmos. And now you'll be able to message somebody on Magic Eden and maybe reach them on Ethereum. And that would be really powerful. And I imagine they're going to take a lot of what they learned with this MetaMask integration, just apply it to other chains gradually over the coming months and into next year.
Yeah, I'm excited for that too. And there's hackathons coming, Brian.
Yeah, hackathon at a major institution. So obviously we need marketing. This is a great way to get marketing, get developers. They're working with several colleges to organize a hackathon. And they say, unlike anything the space has ever seen. And students will be able to enter by creating DAOs on DAO. And contestants will be encouraged to aggregate contributions over the course of 4 weeks. So this is exciting. The DAOs could act as ways to bring in funds for these projects. I talking about marketing though, I hope that they have a broader marketing plan than just a few hackathons, which I think they do. I just don't think they
Yeah.
included in the roadmap. That would be another question we could ask Nader is like, what's your marketing plan for all this? Because it's going to be
Yeah.
important.
Good questions. I love
And this
hackathons. I think hackathons are great because it brings all those young kids with new ideas into the space.
And this brings us to the forum standard on DeSo, and they put Reddit in parentheses because it's like Reddit. And they say that today Reddit functionality is possible on DeSo, as can be seen on DAO. So DAO has messaging and has this community feel about it, but there is no standardized format for aggregating posts the way subreddits do, and that's something that's definitely missing. Soon, they're going to build standardized Reddit functionality into the DeSo node so that DeSo apps can actually start to compete with Reddit and other forum-like experiences. Ed and I are vastly experienced with forums going back over a decade. And I can tell you, I think that the possibility of having conversations and communities on DeSo is what could really drive growth. So this has me really excited.
Yeah, me too. So let's get to Creator Coins version 2, Brian. This is interesting.
Yeah, so we don't know exactly what this is. I know that Dylan Jagger Lee mentioned Creator Coins version 2 in a reply probably, I don't know, a month and a half ago or so. And it really had me thinking, is this actually coming? And this confirms it is. But they said that they're exploring avenues to growing DeSo, but they haven't forgotten about Creator Coins. And they have a lot of feedback that came in on how they can improve Creator Coins and are working with DeSo projects to take this core primitive to the next level. I'm guessing they're probably working with Pearl for one. I know Pearl is going to do a lot with creator coins and sharing, splitting revenue that creators make with their coin holders. I think this could be big. And I think that subscriptions could definitely feed into this concept as well.
Do they keep the bonding curve or do they get rid of it?
I don't know. I think it's hard to take it away because you're in the process, you could be screwing over coin holders. It depends if they can figure out a way to do it in an equitable fashion.
So that's quarter 1 of 2023, and this is also quarter 1 of 2023. The coin split. We talked about the coin split before. We didn't know. I thought maybe they decided not to do it because the price of DeSo fell so much, but apparently they're still contemplating this, and they're still planning on doing a DeSo coin split. They say many have expressed that DeSo coin could be more accessible if the price were, say, 1 penny, 1 cent. As such, we will be working to execute a coin split prior to proof of stake to make sure DeSo is accessible to all. And then that gets us into the infinite proof of stake. You want to talk about that, Brian?
Yeah, so I didn't dive too much into this, but we've all been waiting for proof of stake, talking about Ethereum's merge that's moving to proof of stake. I think proof of stake is a good way to do this. How they do it's going to be important, how they do it and what fees are going to be like, and what staking is going to be like. That's all going to be important to the value of the DeSo coin, as well as how it all functions. And the core team has been working on a breakthrough consensus. We've heard this for many months now that they have, and they're tentatively calling it infinite proof of stake. They're currently working in the process of finalizing the proposal and reviewing it with top academics in this space. I mean, we've been hearing this for several months now, probably 8 months, 9 months. We haven't seen anything yet. I think that it got kind of pushed from the back burner as they worked on other things. But once their proposal for infinite proof of stake is finalized and published, hopefully before the start of quarter 4, which would be within weeks from now, it will be implemented as part of an upgrade that they're calling DeSo 2.0. So DeSo 2.0 would be coming sometime in the first quarter of 2023. They believe that the upgrade will make DeSo the most sophisticated proof of stake system currently on the market. That's powerful words. Let's see if they can actually do it.
Yeah, so that's and that says Q1 of 2023. I guess it'll be finalized. And then phase 4, there's one thing in phase 4. It's called DeSo Glass, and that's coming Q2 of 2023. And there's no details for that. What could DeSo Glass be, Brian? Any ideas?
DeSo Glass, I don't know. Google Glass for DeSo.
So like DeSo VR headsets, or could it be like a looking glass? Somebody suggested this on DeSo. I forget who it was. Could it be a looking glass just to like kind of look at the blockchain, look at a different blockchain and see more
That's
information?
very possible.
I don't know, but I'm excited about that. Brian, you want to go over the list? I know we talked about a lot today. The list of top.
Yes, top NFTs over the last 24 hours, according to NFTZ, are Sod, La Big Mac, Vishal Gulia, BitCloud FR, Visna Sularin, Dzu, Meta Philosopher, Garbo, Ali B, and the girl from BitCloud. And the top Diamond, are these actually
Diamond creators today?
From Altum Base are Natter, Spunk Art, Michelle Lord, Clout Women Unite, ZN Mead, Krasenstein, McMarsh, Brutal, Goldberry, and Panini.
And I want to touch quickly on the events today. Thanks to Miss Katie Ann. 11 a.m. Eastern time on Vibe Hut is Come Talk with Others with One Dolinsky on Vibe Hut, 11 a.m. Eastern time. 1:30 p.m. Eastern time is Web3 Wednesdays on Entra with Caleb and Shantron. At 2 p.m. Eastern time is Tech and Web3 Legal Office Hours on Entra with Francesca Witzberg, Shantron, Michael Mara. Again on Entra. Go to joinentra.com. And at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time is Web3 Weekly Digest on Entra with Mark Angelos. And at 9:45 Eastern time is Down DAO AMA on Entra. So definitely check out those rooms. And that's all the news we have for today. I know it was a long show. Hopefully you didn't get too bored listening to us talk about the roadmap. I think it's exciting. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow and have a great rest of your day.